Got the call from the post office. The broiler chicks have arrived.
They're all moving. Daddy, want to hold one?
Yeah. We gotta transfer them in here. I just do the Red Rangers and see the Cornish.
Yeah, they're so cute.
You're so cute. Okay.
They gotta dip their beaks in.
So that they know?
Yeah. If I can get them to. Sheesh. He's fighting me about that.
I'm scared. The feathers aren't there. Okay, well, let's see what he does. Sweetie pie. Try it on the other end because it's tilted a little bit. Drink some water, guys.
It won't take long for that thing to get highly soiled.
Yeah.
Hi, little babies.
We have the chicks all situated here in our little dining room area. It's really cold and windy outside and also raining today, so what are you doing?
That's what someone does when someone's cold, tries to keep warm.
That's right. So the chicks are trying to do that, aren't they?
Yes, but they don't know how.
That's why we have the heat lamps, right?
Yeah, to keep them warm.
That's
But
right.
what happens if we put them outside and then put them in this room?
They would probably die. It's so cold outside.
Yes.
When we first got the chicks out of the box in which they were shipped, we put them in this tote just to get them out of the box and put them in something until we could get something more suitable for them. Again, the plan was to have them in that outside brooder I spent so much time on, but the weather is just not cooperating, so we decided to keep them in the house for a little while until it warms up outside, which, who knows, it could be weeks. They could be feathered out by the time it's warm enough outside. After we transferred them into that little plastic tote, the fencing contractor that I called arrived to talk to me about putting up fencing. Ashley went out to get a stock tank to put the chicks in, so they'd have a little bit more room and we could accommodate both food and water in there for them. So I just put a waterer in their little plastic tote and went out with the fencing contractor, and again, Ashley had left. When I got back in about 30 minutes later, it was a disaster.
Because they're freezing to death.
Why were they freezing?
They got in the water and they were swimming. That's what made it froze to death.
They thought they were ducks.
Yes.
A lot of the Cornish Roaster chicks got into the waterer and they were just completely soaked and freezing. When I got back in, it looked like several of them were on the verge of death. One I thought was already dead. I picked it up and then I saw it take a little breath. I quickly hooked up the heat lamps and put them under the lamps, held them directly under them to warm them up rapidly. Ashley came home, and while I was holding them under the light, she grabbed a hairdryer and put it on the hot setting, and we got them all dried off. They dried off pretty rapidly after the hairdryer got involved, and it's really interesting how quickly they all came back to life. None of them have died. Everybody seems to be doing great. Everyone's been running around, really active. We're using these round feeders for both waterer, and over there I have grain in that one. This is certified organic scratch and peck chick starter. The waterer that I put in their plastic tote was one of the bigger ones that I bought to put into the bigger brooder, but I did not, obviously this whole indoor setup was not in the plan, so Ashley bought those just now as well. These are the heat lamps. And you notice that there's no red glare coming off of them, but they are on. This is the bulb I'm using. Ceramic infrared heat emitter. It does not produce light, it just emits heat. With my hand just over the pine shavings, I can still really feel the heat pouring off of it. They seem to be really good, but I really don't think that these would be enough to keep them warm outside with as cold as it is. These yellow ones are the Cornish Roasters, and the ones that are brownish or red are the Freedom Rangers. The difference in fragility in the two different breeds has already been apparent. When the birds got really wet and cold earlier, the Cornish Roasters were the ones that were in really bad shape. The Freedom Rangers were huddled up and cold, but they were not knocking on death's door like the Cornish Roasters were. Originally, the plan was to have them separated so we could keep very accurate data as far as their feed consumption goes and weight gain. But we were in a little bit of a crisis there. I was really afraid we were going to lose a lot of birds, so we just had to act fast when we just got them all in the brooder and under the heat lamps as quickly as we could and got them water and fed. As far as monitoring their feed intake today, that's not going to happen because I can't control who has access to which feeder and that sort of thing. What I'll probably do later on is find some object to put across there as a divider and separate them by breed. This is the water catch system that I was going to use for the bigger brooder. You see there is some water in there now. My little water overflowed, so I just poured some in there. But the idea here is to set the water up on this thing here, so when it spills everywhere, it's going to go into this tray instead of getting all the pine shavings wet, thus reducing the amount of deep litter that needs to be added, or changing out the pine shavings if that's the method you're using. This is just a small paint tray, and this is one of those, I forgot what this thing is called, but it hangs on the side of a bucket. They're sold right next to the paint tray in most hardware stores, the painting supplies area. So little buddy, we have here a bag of chick grit, and we'll be adding this into their brooder when they're about 2 weeks old.
Yep. How many weeks old are they now?
They're only about 2 days old now. So they're not even a week old.
Their bones are really small.
Little buddy, what are we gonna do with these chickens?
Eat them when they grow up.
That's right.
They probably taste good, right?
They probably do. I mean, not right now. They would be just all bone right now, but when they get older, they will. Okay, two hands, two hands.
It's okay, we're not gonna hurt you. Just gonna hold you. That's all. That's all. That's pretty good. You look soft.
So what do you think, darling?
I love them. They're precious.
I love them too. They're precious and fluffy.
They eat a lot more than I thought that they would. They've been eating all day, and they have, yes, all day long. They drink a lot of water, and they're very cute and little.
For now.
For now. Yeah, they'll get big and poop a lot more.
And we eat them.
Yes.
Yes, and they might be really honest.
But I was really glad to hear them this morning. It was nice. I'm glad they all survived. I can't believe they all survived the trip. That's crazy.
Yeah, very crazy for me.
Very crazy for you.
Very, very crazy for me.
Really?
Yeah.